Hey everybody, Mike Ferrasi coming to you from the AFN corporate office today. It's not exactly a ghost town, but there's not nearly as many people here as usual, so I figure I use the nice big conference room to shoot this one for you guys. Today, we're gonna go over pricing. Not necessarily how pricing's been affected recently or what's gonna happen to pricing in the future, but how you, as a loan originator, should be looking at pricing. More specifically, how you should be looking at rate stacks with intent, not just to gather the quick and easy information that's always been spoon-fed to you by pricing engines and things like that, but how you have to be the professional and you have to intentfully look at the rate stacks, because what we're seeing right now is not normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Optimal Blue on my phone here. I have a really quick and easy 95 LTV, it's a 700 FICO, FHA scenario that I'm gonna price out. This is the one we're gonna look at. Now do know that I'm using a demo account. This is completely out of the ballpark pricing. This demo account is pretty much guaranteed to show worse pricing than you're gonna see when you log in and price out scenarios. So pay no attention to what the actual pricing is, but for comparison's sake, we're gonna see some pretty interesting things here. So I got my scenario all plugged in. I'll go ahead and hit submit and get to the results page. And this best execution rate stack that it defaults to on the best orig tab. See, got your two tabs, the best and the full. The full, as always, is gonna give you a full list of all eligible programs. But the best is what we're going to concentrate on here, because that best tab is going to give you the best price at every single rate offered, regardless of what investor or program is offering it. As long as it's eligible based on our scenario input, that's the best you're gonna see. So here's our rate stack. We're gonna zoom in a little bit because it is a little hard to read. Don't pay any attention to the investor specific codes or anything like that. We're just gonna look at the rate on the left column and the corresponding price that you see on the right-hand side of the screen. So at 2.75, we start with a price of 95.625. 2.875, we get a half pay up in price for that, which is a pretty big jump. 3%, you get another quarter pay up, which is pretty normal. But then when it gets to 3.125, those pay ups start lessening, if not decreasing. So in a normal market environment, if you're gonna wanna offer the most rebate to your borrower or the lowest cost loan to your borrower, whatever it is, you're just gonna go straight down to the bottom of this rate stack, right? And say, oh, 6% is the highest rate offered, so that's gonna be the highest price, right? Well, not right now. As you can see, 6% at a price of 93.75, that's actually a lower price than you would get if you did a loan using the lowest rate at 2.75%. So we really need to digest these rate stacks as we look at them right now. Look at them with intent. Be the professional. Dissect them. Take a few moments to actually look at what's going to be the best option for your borrower. Because if I was working for a borrower on this purchase scenario right now, I'd be looking at this and saying, okay, well, lowest cost to you looks like we'd be in that, 96.625 range. Based on this admittedly fake pricing, you're at a 3.5% interest rate there. Could you get a little pay up if you go up in rate? No, you really couldn't. So anything over and above 3.625 is not a rate that you're going to want to use. However, even though that 96.625 price at a 3.5 rate might be the lowest cost, is it really the best deal? Because if they're just willing to pay an eighth more in cost, you can go with a 96.5 price and you can drop that rate a whole half down to 3.125. And again, if they want to pay another eighth in price, you can drop the rate by a full eighth. A 1-to-1 price to rate difference is usually a pretty good deal. You usually have to pay a lot more than an eighth in price to get an eighth discount on the rate. So for me, the way I'm seeing this, that 3%, 3.125 note rate range, that's gonna be your sweet spot on this scenario. Definitely look more closely at your rate stacks when you're pulling your pricing. As a mortgage professional, it's your responsibility You have a lot of borrowers who are relying on you right now because they don't know what the heck's going on in the market. Heck, a lot of the times we don't know what's going on in the market. But what you do need to know is that these are the things to pay attention to. And as long as we're paying attention to these things and presenting the borrowers with the actual best options, then everybody's going to be in the clear and everybody's going to be happy. A little side note, a lot of you might be out there thinking, why in the world aren't the higher rates paying more? And that's a valid question because typically they do. But right now, in a really low market environment, you have to remember that loans and the pricing of them, it's all based on investments and what investors will pay to put a certain loan in their servicing portfolio. Obviously, if a lender is going to service a loan for, let's be honest, they know they're not going to service it for 30 years. People refinance, people sell their houses. They're going to service it for 5, 7, sometimes 10 years, right? And the interest is what they're making on that. So they're going to pay a premium in order to put that in their portfolio because over time they're going to make that money back and then some. That's how servicers make their money. But right now, when rates are so low, it makes no sense for a servicer to pay out money to put a high interest rate loan in their portfolio. Normally you'd think, but they're going to make more money because the interest rate's higher, right? Well, yeah. Until 2 weeks from now, when another originator, heck, maybe you call that borrower again and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, we can refinance you into a lower rate and drop your payment. Now, when that loan refinances within maybe not a couple of weeks, sure, but 6, 8, 12 months, well, now you have a servicer who's paid a premium to put a loan in their servicing portfolio, predicated upon the anticipation of them taking interest payments on that loan for 5, 7, 10 years, but they've only been able to take interest payments on that loan for 6, 10, 12 months. They're gonna lose money on that deal and they know it. So that's why they're not paying up. That's why there's not a huge servicing value for those higher interest rates right now, because a higher interest rate in this market environment just leads to a quick refinance and they're going to be out of that loan as quick as possible. So, crazy weird market, lots of stuff going on. Just make sure that you look at your rate stacks with intent and properly dissect them. Look into them more closely than you might usually do and figure out what the actual best options are for you and your borrowers. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you next time.